All right. We are back in action. Hold on 1 second for me. All right, let me just move the screen up a little bit. Let me get everything organized.
I got a damn commercial. Come on. How can I have a commercial? I got a damn commercial. Come on.
Come on, we gotta keep it PG, rated G.
Got it.
All right. I gotta find this link, so bear with me. Sorry about that. It's like every time it goes live, there's an issue. Not really an issue, but all right. Come on. All right. Let's get some people in here.
Yeah, man. Did you see that fender that Bryce Kelly just did?
I did not see it.
Oh my gosh.
I did not see it at all.
Crazy.
Go ahead and just let's see. We got 8 people watching. Let's start asking them questions if we can. Or hey,
I'll introduce myself. Ryan from Baltimore, Maryland, RPS dent specialist. We got Dave from Windy City. He's not quite on yet. There he is. He's from Chicago. And we got
sir.
Christopher Ray, out of Northern Virginia, Southern Maryland, from Dentless Touch.
basically Washington D.C. The surrounding areas. All right, 13 people watching. Okay, let's get this show started. Let's start with a question that I had today. What did you guys do so far this week that maybe has helped your business? The one thing maybe that you've done this week.
Well, it's Monday.
Oh, last week. How about that? I have no days off, so you know.
I kind of did a little advanced training for another tech in a different region. He came in town and needed some help with some larger damage. So it was super cool because the guy's so passionate about dents. You know, just the passionate end of it really got me. You know, it was he actually sent me a message today. Fixed the dent, could really see what he was looking at in some of the crowns. That was the issue he was really having, and it was, you know, it was good. It was a good afternoon after I got his message. It was good.
Dave?
Well, I organized a bunch of random papers that I had all around the house. From check stub, invoice stuff, filed that. Just recently got my taxes done, had to put all those papers away. That's pretty much it. Nothing too exciting.
Oh, all right. Well, I started this book. Smarter, Faster, Better. It's actually
This
a good
dude
book.
in his books. This dude in his books.
Hey,
Who's got time to read?
He's got time to read.
Sorry. It's the toilet time. Let's just say that. All right. It is. You want to start off with some tools?
Go for it. You can.
You want to go, Dave? Ryan? I know you got a bunch of them to share.
I got a couple things here. A thing I picked up at MTE. It's the Kiko slappers. We went to like a seminar with Kiko and Jonathan there, which he's freaking awesome. Showed us some techniques. I've only already used the red one. It's kind of bendable. The part number for this one on Kiko's site is 410-8342. This thing is great for large crowns. I mean, you can bend it any way you want to bend it. I haven't used the blue one yet. It's still in the package. I'm a little scared of it, to be honest with you. Jonathan, when I went to go buy these, he was kind of explaining the product. If you hit it on the edge or you hit it the wrong way, it'll leave a crease because it's a hard paddle. It really doesn't bend. But I use this one probably at least once or twice a week on big, hard crowns. You know, it moves a lot of metal at one time instead of leaving those little marks every now and then.
You like that better than like a soft tip on a regular knockdown?
I'm an old school. I like the Dentcraft H12 like we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
But this is just different. You know, it really depends on the type of crown it is. When it's a big, hard smash and it's moved the body line up, this thing works really good.
And how do you, I mean, when it's up against the car, how are you really seeing where?
I mean, it's just kind of like it's kind of like a knockdown. I mean, you can really see, where you're using it. That's why
it's hard like that, or it's bendable?
It's bendable.
Okay.
So, it was, I think both of these were, I think it's like $30. It was definitely a good purchase. It's definitely helped me out on some of the bigger stuff. So if you guys do some bigger stuff or see a bunch of crowns, this soft red one is awesome.
So, I know you worked on one today.
Yeah.
Probably didn't use that tool, but
oh no, we didn't use that one.
I'll show you what I have. I think this tool is a lifesaver, even today. So it's a shave tool from Ultra, part number SHT5B, and they make one. Well, if I can show you, that's about this short, and then they make
It's
a
long kick, huh?
Yeah, this thing is nice, and hopefully I can show you how thin that is.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
That is insane, right there. So this tool, I would say roughly 42 inches. But this is my money tool right here. I love this tool. So if you don't have this, this tool has saved the day plenty of times. I actually bought this tool for one of my techs on accident because I normally give these guys the same tools that I have, and I just couldn't get it in this. I think it was a Tahoe. I couldn't get it into the quarter panel, and I needed pretty much that reach and then that foot, and nothing was getting on it. As soon as I went for this tool, that was it. Game over. Then was done in about 10 minutes. So spend an hour trying to figure it out. What?
Anything Ultra. I own nothing Ultra.
You need to. There's some definitely good tools up there.
This
they're
shave
stout,
tool,
they're
baby. They don't rust.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
This has been in my car for about 4 to 5 months. Look at that. Shining.
Yeah.
So I really like it. I really like the Ultra Dent tools. I think that their tools are just at another level of quality. Honestly, they're one of the highest.
Now, is that a polished stainless or is that a chrome plated tool?
It has to be a polished stainless because if it was chrome, you see all the scratches, flickered off the plating. And then when you're pushing, this would have probably been done. But this is just still shiny. Still hasn't finished. So, and it's hard. You can tell. Just this actually goes into the bottom pile of my tools. So it has to be some tough alloy that they use. So by far, the must-have tools in my arsenal. Dave, you got anything?
I didn't bring any tools in. I literally just got home from the route about 10 minutes ago, so ran in here. But what I will show, I guess, so this is what I use. This is what I use. This is the money maker. I just picked this up a couple months ago. This is my Sony A6000. And I picked this up off Craigslist for $375. So it was a little upgrade from my iPhone 10 that I was using. The iPhone 10 does great video. This also has a 35 millimeter lens on it as well. But yeah, this definitely will upgrade your video if you guys are looking to kind of capture a better quality. If you're looking to make PDR videos or at home videos, I kind of use it for both. It's for $375. It does what it needs to do. I use got a Gorilla Pod and that's it. So next week I'll bring some dent tools in when I have time.
So I got a little. I got the weekly tech tip today. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Black Box Mafia.
Oh, you got yours?
No, this is another package that I've had for a little while. I haven't got the new one for this month, so I don't know if these guys know about it. It's a monthly service, so you pay $78 every month. You get a package in the mail, and it's just different tools that'll have a couple knockdowns, or glue, or it's a kind of a little surprise thing. So most months you get these nice cases. So after a while, I think I've got 3 or 4 of these cases, and I'm like, what am I going to do with all these cases? It's worked really well. I started a couple weeks ago. I use it for all my batteries. It's awesome. I mean, they fit in here perfect. It keeps them organized so they're not all over my truck. So it's a little tech tip. This is perfect size. I mean, it holds, how many batteries do I have in here right now? 2, 4, 6. I mean, it holds 8 batteries. I mean, I even have the big DeWalt 6 amp beast.
Wow, that's
so
crazy.
It's an awesome little case for that. It's durable. Got a little handle. So if you guys are interested in that, it's blackboxmafia.com. It's just an awesome little box.
Yeah, I use mine to put camera equipment in. Actually, it has my sound equipment, and I'll show you mine.
Look at that.
There we go. I don't know what that was. What was that? Yep. So I love that. It's a nice little, neat little. What is that noise?
My phone.
Oh, okay. All right, so let's get into some questions. So for the guys that are watching, if you guys have any questions for us, we'll be more than welcome to answer them. If not, we're going to talk about the industry and business and all that good stuff. So if any of you guys have questions, feel free to put it in the comment section or the chat section.
How was having someone else who is into PDR but may not know? How was that, Ryan? The kind of one-on-one this weekend.
It was really good. A friend of all of ours, his name's Benny from Elite PDR. He's out of Philly. Contacted us. We've been in contact since MTE, and he said,
Great
"Hey,
guy.
how do I get into some of this big damage? I see you do all these smashes." I said, "Yeah, I'm the idiot. So he came down, and we had some good stuff. It was refreshing. You have a guy that's, like I said, he's 53 years old, 3-year tech, and all he wants to do is learn. He just wants to get out there and just learn tips and hey, what do you think about this? Or why are you using that glue tab? I had a pretty bad Mercedes with 2 quarters, and he was like, "Why are you using glue?" And I explained the process, and then he was having trouble with crowns. Some of these crowns you have to move 360 degrees on them. You have to get all the way around, and he just didn't know that. So, like I said earlier, he contacted me today and said, "Hey, I had this nasty crease in this door. I approached it differently. It saved him time. Came out amazing. It's refreshing to have new guys in the industry that are trying to learn.
Yeah.
I never had that. I never had a older tech. I mean, I had David Johnson. He helped from Dent Wizard. He helped me a lot when I first started. But after I moved on from the Wiz and went through my trials and tribulations, I really didn't have anybody to mentor me. It's almost like having your own mentor.
Yeah.
To say, hey, I'm having trouble with this, or we still have it today. Last week I contacted Dave and Chris and said, hey, got this Porsche. I cannot get in this. How do you approach it? What do you do?
Yeah.
I've got 3 hours in this thing. So, whatever help we can get. So
Yeah.
it's definitely helpful.
There's so many different manufactured cars, models and this, I do a lot of Porsches. I do a lot of BMWs. So any way that we can help, definitely
But it was refreshing.
beneficial.
I'm glad Benny could get something out of the little class we had. I mean, he was here all day. He got here at 8. He was driving home at 5. So it was a long day of some smashes. It was a busy Saturday. So
we gotta get Benny on here next week.
Yeah.
Let him talk about his experience and what he's learned. That'd be good. I'm pretty sure Benny is watching.
He is right here. I think he's driving home. Actually, he says.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave Johnson wants a follow up on the Dent Tech tools that I brought on last week. I can tell you today I used another one. He sent me his new carbon pick set.
When you say Dent technology?
Yeah, Dent technology.
Okay. Yeah.
The pick set, I was working on another transit roof because that's what I do is roofs here. And it was a 18-passenger van roof with the big roof on it, like with a extended to where you could stand up in it. That extra long, 5-foot long pick was the only thing I could get to fix this roof. It was small enough to fit inside of a brace. It was stout enough to really crank on it. That tool's worked out really well. So I'm very happy with that pick set. It paid for itself today,
Mm-hmm.
What else do we do? Some of the tips. I mean, I've used a bunch of his tips. I did get to use the nano rod. It's got its purpose. It's in line with the Carbon Tech as in force. It's got its downfalls and it's got its perks at the same way. It's less to carry. So I haven't tried all the hammers. I did try his window bar. It's very comparable to most of the window bars out there. I personally like the Carbon Tech window bar because it has a bar in the center. So most of the window bars are 2 straps, and you put them on the window and close the door. Yeah. The Carbon Tech one has a rod across it, so you can just hold it in the center and close the door with one hand. It's a little easier to set up. I'll have to bring it on for next week.
Okay.
But it's it's going. It's some of it, stuff's the quality's there.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Dave, what you working on today?
I had a hail car. And I was supposed to also be in about 7 different places all at once today.
Yeah. How'd that work out?
I made it work. I made it happen. So I got there this morning. I think it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock to start this car. Started with the hood. I know everyone starts their cars different, but I start with the hood. Then I'll do the fenders, side panels. Then I'll do the roof last. I know some people start the roof first. About halfway in, I realized, and I didn't think about it at first when I went to do the estimate, that the hatch needed to come off. So I'm about 75 to 80% through with this hail car, and I have to let the manager know, hey, I'm going to need the hatch off. I could have taken it off myself, but I would rather the shop do it since it's at a shop. So I was able to kind of sneak out of there about 1 o'clock and then just started zipping around to the 4 other places I needed to be pretty much all at the same time. So After I get to my second stop, I'm already having people at 3 and 4 calling me, "Hey, where you at? Hey, where you at?" Which they all knew that I had a car, a hail car today. So it's kind of the nature of the business where everyone's just really, really impatient. And they've had bad experiences with other companies and they don't show. So it's just reassuring the customer, which is, the shops that you're servicing, those are your customers, your accounts. It's reassuring them that, hey, I'm going to be there. I told you that I had this going on today and, just bear with me. I will be there. Okay. Thank you. No problem. No problem. So, minus that, I mean, the bugging me, I guess you could call it. Everything worked out fine. Everything worked out fine.
Good.
We got some questions coming in, Chris.
I'm down a screen. Does anybody want to pick those up?
How strong? Yeah, go for it, Dave. So, how strong do you think the brotherhood in the industry is? I'm currently in a bankruptcy case with a guy who screwed over at least 100 techs. Not one dead guy showed, except me and my partner. Everyone preaches unity and help this guy and do this for our industry, but when push comes to shove, it's just talk. I'm owed chump change compared to what most dent guys are owed on this case.
I've actually been through a bankruptcy case through a dealer that went out of business. It's a tough situation. It gets drawn out for a long period of time sometimes, and sometimes it goes quick. I was lucky because I had a relationship with the owner, so he kind of helped me out before the whole court case came through to where I didn't have to go. A lot of the dent guys, I think, don't show up is because it's time and money. You almost cut your losses at that
Hell
point.
Just hit, so.
You have to cut your losses, and it is what it is. It sucks. It's a crappy situation. The only good thing with that is you can write it off on your taxes as a loss. As in the brotherhood, it's a tough thing. I mean, you have some dent guys are all for themselves, and then you have guys like us that are doing this on our own time, just to help all the new techs out there. So, you do have good people in the industry. Just it's who you associate yourself with.
Yeah, I think I kind of met you even just briefly at MTE last year, and you called me. I think 2 months later, and said, "Hey, get out here." Now here's me, putting my trust into someone that I've never met. You said, "Hey, get out here, and you'll make money and come push hail for me." But I had a good sense that this person who was reaching out to me wasn't going to screw me over. I think I don't know if I'm a good judge of character, I guess, when it comes to off the bat, meeting people, stuff like that. I don't know. There is a strong brotherhood, but there are also people who are greedy and will take the money and run. I don't really know how to steer away from that besides just building really solid relationships with close people and then branching off and who's in their circle and then who's in that circle, because people who trust other people or in a tight circle are going to, have other little networks. So I met Chris knows Ryan, and all of a sudden us, you know what I mean? So it's, it's tough. I could see where you can really get screwed over, especially I've never traveled for hail or anything, but I've heard really, really some bad horror stories about people not getting paid and stuff like that. Yeah. And so I think it just really comes down to, having a nice tight group of guys and then, branching out off of that instead of going to find someone that you just randomly met, says they're going to give you work and I don't know, I don't see how that works, but that's just me.
There's a judgment of character, I think.
It's exact.
Yeah.
The gut feeling. Always stick with your gut.
It's too good to be true, Some people just go for the best paying job. When I have techs, I tell them, listen, I'm not going after the cheapest and the most work. We're just trying to get consistent work, high quality. and I pay accordingly. So no stress. They get a shop, and they pretty much run the shop. No one can come in the shop without their pretty much permission, because they got their tools and their livelihood there. Most of my keys shop. I've built up that trust from, and basically they know where they're going to come if hell hits. So.
So there's another question here from C. Miller. Small nasties, like as if from the round end of a ball peen hammer. So I guess he's talking kind of like a BB shot. What's your key at getting out the tiny crease in the center?
It's a BB shot, man. You need that. What's that dent tool? What's that thing called? The dent box?
Yeah.
What is that thing?
Power PDR box.
There you go. Power PDR box. If it's a shot like that, that's the only way I know to get those out.
I mean, like not BBs. Even if it's like a ball peen, a lot of times I'll widen it. You know, I'll make it. I'll widen it, make it a lot larger than it is, and then you can get that center somewhat worked out. You know, you'll work it 10 or 11 times. You get it all up, and then make it wide again, and get it all up just to get that center out. You know, that's how I usually do it. It's definitely not something glue or anything special is gonna get it out.
Today, I was actually having one of the cars that I had today was a nice shallow dent in the middle of the door, a Nissan Rogue, and I could tell just when I put my light on it that something was kind of off and kind of weird. So I put my tool down in the door, and there's a nice vertical crease, and then just a shallow crease. It was the what is it called? The insulator or whatever. The
sound deadening. Might have lost Dave.
Yeah, I think we did. I think he was talking about the water shield that's in there.
Oh, okay.
You know, the plastic shield that's in the door. So I guess we'll kick to the next one. You got C. Miller says, I'm just 8 months in, no hot box yet. I don't own a hot box either.
Me either.
I've used it once or twice. It's an okay tool for its situation.
Yeah, I think what we were talking about was let me just link it real quick. It's the Pro PDR box or something. What did you say? Power PDR?
Power PDR box, and it's really for oil can dents, the big, nasty stretch dents. Benny's also saying, I need more knowledge.
Pulling up here.
More than welcome to come back down again, Benny. Open house here for you. More than welcome to come back down, buddy.
All right, well, when Dave's trying to get his stuff together, I don't know what happened.
So I got some more tools here. We got, I don't know if you guys use these or not, the uni pens.
Yes.
These things are awesome. They make a bunch of different pens. A lot of my body shops use the green. The problem with the green is sometimes if it's on there for a long time, it's a little hard to get off.
Same with the red.
This thing, I mean, you can wipe it off with a dry towel. It stays on there just enough. If I do a hail car or mark anything, this is the only thing that I use. They're pretty cheap. I get them from Dentcraft. You can buy them on Amazon, I think. There's just a bunch of different part numbers. This one's a PC8K, and it works really well. I love those things. I buy a bunch. I usually buy them from Dentcraft.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the green and the blue, the light blue, those are all good. The red stains, the orange stains. I don't really have an issue with the green, but on white cars, that's what you got to watch out for. White or silver, any one of those. I don't know why this thing is not switching again, but I can't figure it out now. So
what else you got over there?
No, I don't have anything, but I had a question for you, Ryan. I know you you started doing social media, but maybe you can explain some of the grassroots marketing that you've done to build your company before this social media, which I don't think is necessary. It is necessary, but it's not the end all be all.
Branding. I'm really big with branding. You know, everything's color coordinated,
Mm-hmm.
has a logo on it. Pick a saying that's easy. You know, I started out with Mike Toledo originally had it out there forever, and it said "Got dents." You know, I
Mm-hmm.
kind of took that over, changed some font, and did some different stuff with it. I think 2 years ago I came up with "Hell Yeah," and everybody loved that. One thing that's really helped me, and I didn't realize it helped me until probably this year, T-shirts. So every year I buy 2 or 3 cases of T-shirts, and they'll either say "Got dents" or "Hell Yeah," and it has all my business information on the back, and I just give them out. I give them to the shops. I give them to people in the industry, body guys, and you wouldn't believe the work that you get from that. Um, People will come on a Saturday that have scheduled an appointment, or even during the week, and say, I always ask. I try to figure out where they come from, Google or Yelp, or just referral. And they're like, oh, they show me a picture of the shirt.
Right.
So branding is key, keeping everything uniform. Um, when you have a company that's logos constantly changing, or emblem or colors are changing, you lose that everything you've worked for. I'm big with the branding, and I originated that from, I was big in the car show scene, so I learned how to market myself, market my car, and I just transferred that to the business.
Right.
And it's done really well. It's worked. It's Christmas time. I give away pens and pads and cups, and you do a lot of giveaways. I think you saw there was a thing on Facebook, Benny. I do air fresheners for all my retail customers. Give them a little something in the car, and it's funny because you'll walk past the service department and you'll look over and you're like, oh, that's my air freshener. So branding and logo placement is huge. So that's definitely a tip for you guys out there. Get yourself a logo, some colors, and just keep pushing it.
Yeah, I've learned a lot from just speaking with you over the past couple of years, just in that branding game. So I think that
What's up, Dave?
I got disconnected. I don't know what happened.
it's that Comcast. Or should I say that?
Technology. I
Get
need to
it,
go back
Mr.
to AT&T.
So I asked Ryan what are some of the things that he did outside of social media to help build his company, and I wanted him to speak on about branding. So, Dave, do you have anything that outside of social media that you'll say kind of you spend some of your time in?
Um, I do a lot of donations. I do a lot of donations to local
Nice.
police departments, to donations to just different organizations, stuff like that. And actually, this last one that I did, they put a three-quarter page, pretty much ad in the middle of their yearbook for the county here,
Nice.
which was really, really nice, and it said send photos, stuff like that. So donations is huge. I caught the end of what you were saying with Ryan and the air fresheners and the pens and all that stuff. He kills it with that. Notepads is what I do. I do notepads. They're easy. They're simple. I can go to UPS, have them made, FedEx, have them made, put the logo up top with the number. And it's really, really nice. Like you said, when you walk into these places and they're using, what you gave them.
Yep.
It's not going away. I mean, like that notepad is going to sit there until that last page. So,
Yep. And I had a guy Saturday that had a pen. It was like, I got your information from this pen.
Yeah.
So
got it from Ryan right there.
That's it. And you know what I do, and I do this. I'll probably do it here. It's coming up. I usually do it in spring. Restaurants, and I can't take full credit for this. There was a company locally. It was a bail bonds company, and they used to have this orange or yellow and pink pen. Everywhere you went had these yellow and pink pens. I was in Mexico in Cancun, and they handed me his pen, and I was like, that's some serious stuff. You're in Mexico and you're getting a pen from home that you know what it is. So every spring I go around and I just take bundles of pens and give them to all the restaurants for their waiters. So you figure you're signing your bill, bam, your pen's
boom.
right there. And I did it to local, my local colors, the orange and the black for the Orioles. Everybody, hometown team. It's it works.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. That's
giving all my tips away. I'll be writing estimates in a body shop in no time.
Nah, man. Can't knock the skill. Need that.
So Deadman can I ask, how do you work a deal with body shops, billing, and what kind of work do you get?
Let me ask, Dentman, is this for hail or is this retail? How is this? Is this insurance work? Because everything's different for me. So hopefully he'll respond to that. Ryan, did you hear the question?
Yeah, about how the billing happens. I guess that's what you're asking. It really depends. Some shops do a 30-day. Some shops do a 60-day bill cycle. Some of them write me a check right there on the spot. Usually I feel it out. If it's a larger corporation, as in Gerber or Service King, they're going to do 30 to 60 days. If it's a new account, the first time I do a car there, I try to give them a W-9, which is a tax form, and that helps you get in their system a lot faster. Kind of speeds up your first additional billing cycle. But I kind of, if they're like, hey, you want a check? Yep, I'll take your check right now. I'd rather get the money in the pocket if they're offering it.
That's a lot of I'm pretty much all of my shops, they write a check on the spot. I maybe have one or two shops that I'll give some leniency to, if they can't, but all my shops give it right on the spot. And so what I've been trying to do with pricing is I give them, I try to have them do retail pricing. I have pricing guides made. I don't think I have any on hand with me here, but I have pricing guides made, and I try to get them to push retail pricing. A lot of the shops, a lot of the guys who are in these shops are a little older, so it's still a lot of training with them. How much does this cost? Or, man, that seems like a lot. I said, well, what would you guys be charging? And this is a fraction of what you guys would be charging. So I'm trying to really get them trained with that. It's tough. It's a slow process, but yeah. And then once they can start selling it on their own, and I'm comfortable with the number, they're comfortable with the number because they're going to be making money as well. And, and then if I get paid right at the end of the job, even better,
I deal with some of the insurance companies that'll write you a check. Like I do a lot of Progressive in my area. They'll write me a check directly right there. So it really depends on your situation. The shops, most of the smaller shops will write you a check right then.
Yeah, it does better for their billing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I to go touch back on that topic, Dave, of that pricing. I remember firing a shop because he would not sell it for the price that I wanted to sell. He would devalue the industry just because he wants to be the cheaper dent guy or the dent company, which, I'm the dent company that he's using. So I just said, I no longer want to do your business.
And that's a tough one. That is a tough one.
Yeah, as a 4-year account. The guy was probably just the numbers over $1,000 a month. So that, roughly, but he never passed out my card. Customers only came to him, and he was literally building a dent, company on my back. So I said, nope, not happening. Or you sell it for the price that I want you to sell it for. Because then they come to me and they go, hey, I can get it up the street for this. And I got to run up the street. What's the point? So stop doing that. So
I've got one right now. Everything's a $75 dent.
Yeah.
Every single thing out there. I just, it's not 1994
We were
anymore.
just talking. We
All right,
we
so
were just talking. I can't read the. I can read them, but I gotta scroll up.
it's Dentio. It says Igor asks, "Great to see you guys again. Thanks for a lot having this show on a regular basis now. What
Welcome.
words would you choose to approach a small dealership for practice as a new tech?"
What comes to mind is, hey, you got a dent right there. Let me take it out. They ain't gonna say no.
Yep.
And then when you say, hey, the next one you gotta pay. How much? Simple. First car free. Second car you're charging.
Yeah.
Probably
As
get
long as
you
you fix the first dent.
yeah. Yep. Speak straight up with him. Sometimes I was actually going through Craigslist, looking for another vehicle for my guy, and there's a dent just right on this Craigslist picture, the picture he posted. And I said, hey, I was interested in your car, and you might be interested in my services. And they actually just said, yeah, come on by and drop off a card. So just that. So it's a little small mom and pop dealership that I was going to. So
We
any
have
other
C
questions?
Miller. I think also a good way for pricing is show the retail amount. If they give you a lot of work, list wholesale pricing under retail.
I just do a percentage. I literally say, listen,
that's it.
Here's the retail price. If you don't sell it right, that is on you. I do have some leniency on that though, because it's hard to price dents, and if they're trying, okay, but you know, if you're selling $150, $200, I actually don't even want to say any numbers, but if you're selling a dent for this much and you literally it's half of what is right to you, I'm not gonna be your tech.
Yeah. And then he followed up. The Dent Man asks, I guess I'll reword it. How do you get the body shops to use a PDR guy? Get them to see the usefulness of a PDR guy. How do you sell yourself to them? I guess he's saying if they have a PDR guy, how do
I think he's saying that they don't use PDR. Like,
yeah,
you know, because I mean,
how do you get the body shops to use a PDR guy? Get them to see the usefulness of one, and how do you sell yourself to them? Basically, how do you cold call a body shop? You know,
well, for a body shop that only does the conventional repair, I think what he's basically walking into is body shops that don't really care for PDR, and there's no way you're going to persuade the owner that is stuck in his ways. So that's just not your body shop. We all know PDR is much better repaired if it can be repaired 100% or close to it, because I don't think cars that are painted are 100% unless they're spending, especially in a production-based shop. It's very hard for them to keep up with that quality. But you know, there's shops that I drive right by, pass my card out every 6 months. They do not use me, and they do not use any PDR. They take everything. What I say, they lie to the customer. You know, they say the customer needs to be painted. We need to blend here, and all you had to do was just give me a call, and I'll fix it. So I picked up a Tesla shop today, certified Tesla shop, and I just basically told them I can push pretty much everything that you have, push to paint. And he called me today. I was only in there 2 days ago. So,
the Service King?
No, it's just a private, family owned. Actually, I've known him for a long time, and I don't know what happened. I think they moved and stuff like that. But he called me. And I saw a bunch of Teslas. I went there first. I saw a bunch of Teslas out there, and I said, "Hey, gonna be all these aluminum panels. I can push aluminum. At least get it up to push to paint. If you don't want to bring that machine or move it into the welding station, I think Tesla has some new policies on how you straighten their metal. I think they just want to replace now. So them and Jaguar, I think they're only doing replace now. So
I do quite a few at Service King. A lot of the Model X quarter panels.
I got to ask about that when we get off of this, because that's what it is.
They are terrible. Terrible. but I do have some tricks. So,
All right, well, we're gonna talk.
So C. Miller asks, insurance is in the wrong order. They should consider PDR first. Well, the good thing with that is we have our PDR workshop and we educate the insurance companies. We've done a couple classes. We just did one for a large insurance company in December. I guess it was 28 people, adjusters all the way, northern than us and southern than us. And we had some really good questions. Some of those guys still didn't understand it, and they've been estimators for 15 years. So there are some guys like us that are out there that are trying to educate the insurance company. I'm big. I do a ton of insurance company work. So, that's the new age of this business. It really is.
I had an insurance guy call me literally 5:30. He's like, "Hey, are you out?" Boy, yep. So it's coming around. Maybe not in your area, but it's definitely coming around. So, the body shop can only compress PDR. Those are the shops that want to compress PDR. But the Geico has new techs. They have they do some training. I talked to a Geico guy, and he said that he just went to a PDR class. I don't know what they're teaching him, but at least he understands that we're out here, and there is a process that repairs dents without painting. So it's always good. So it's coming.
Maybe we'll be coming to a city to you.
Yeah, there you go. Don't worry about it. It only takes one guy, then that guy says, "Oh, you need to try this and try that," and then there you go. So, or go up to a lot of the big body shops. They normally have adjusters sitting there. Just pass out a card. Either show them a video or show them one of my videos, or show them some before and after pictures and say, "Let me try one for you. Let me show you what to do." A lot of times they have all control of the shop. The shop, they tell the shop who to use. So, maybe I'm not supposed to be saying that, but
Chris and I just ran into that when you were in town with me. You saw the nationwide adjuster that was from your area.
Yep. And he was looking for a guy. Oh, great.
Introduce me. It's all about the network. As soon as you meet one insurance guy, you get your card in their pocket.
That's it.
You're in good shape because you're helping them out. You may not think of it that way, but you're really helping them out.
Yeah. So and find things. There's certain things that that gets on the nerves of an insurance guy. Could be pricing, supplements. So do things that add more value to you outside of just pushing.
Convenience.
I think that's it. Yeah. If you're the guy that got to come out, look at it, okay, if they send you a picture, you can just ballpark it. And if you're wrong, you just eat it. It's like what Ryan said, the convenience factor. He's going to remember that. And all I had to do was send him a picture. He's going to remember that more so than all right, send him a picture. He gave me a price. Now it's double when he came out. And it really, you really could have just kind of ate that and moved on to the next one.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Building that relationship.
So I was listening to Gary V from Dave. Dave got me on him. And he said, he's like, he said, what people fail to realize is that, they want, I'm sorry, it wasn't Gary V, it was Brian's Lawn Care, I think his name of it, and which had a Gary V kind of mix to it. And he said people want to charge more money. So, and I've always been a stickler that you can't charge more money if you don't add more value. So that brings, with the insurance information and selling yourself, you have to figure out a way, even on customers, wholesale lot, to add value. It could be, I can do 30 cars. You're still adding value. He doesn't need you on his lot for 3 days. So if that's something that he's interested in, then go for it, shoot for it. But a lot of these guys or anybody in the field, if you want to raise your prices, you have to add value to the customer, regardless. If not, you're going to be overpriced. So some people, I think Dave does mobile services for convenience. I'm pretty sure he charges for that convenience. He's adding value to the customer for the customer that can stay at home or at work and be able to,
Well, we actually don't charge extra for it. It's
Okay.
kind of
Well,
built into the pricing. It's just
okay.
built into the pricing. I mean, we are a little higher. We are on the higher end when it comes to mobile retail paintless dent repair. It's built in because we're coming to your home, we're coming to your work, we're coming wherever the vehicle is. That's all we need. So that does make it a little easier at times.
Yep. I don't see any more questions. You guys see any?
Yeah, we got one. It says, C. Miller, I haven't gotten any official businesses yet from a dealer. I
Mm-hmm.
plan to hit the bricks this week. I went out last fall and handed out some cards. I got a lot of practice in over this winter. Um, and I think I went over this last show. Pound the streets. Go in there. If you really want this account, go in every week. Bam. If he's like, you got a card, and I'm gonna tell you a quick little cheater that I've done over the years for really trying to get accounts. I get different business cards printed. So every time I order a business card batch, it's the same business card, but something's on it. It's different. So when you go to the used car manager, you go in there and he's like, "Oh, I've already got your card," and you're like, "No, no, no, you don't have this one." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're right." They don't remember exactly who you are, so they see a little bit
Right.
of a difference,
All right.
and it makes all the difference. The biggest thing is the consistency. When a manager sees you in there every week, every week, every week, every week, every week,
Yeah.
that's how you score the account that you really want. Um,
And it only
so
takes
it's
one time. It only takes that their den guy to say, you know what, I'm gonna stay home today, and they just don't show, and they got that one car. Or maybe their den guy's fine. It just he comes on Tuesday and Monday where they want to deliver this car, and you're there on that Monday.
mm-hmm.
It does. I've gotten plenty of dealerships like that. Mark says, "What a good place to pick up a pricing guide." Look, Paul Corden sells a pricing guide. I don't actually know
if
where he
you
sells it.
if
Who's
you
that guy that
message
does it for
if
him?
you message Chris on YouTube, we'll get one. We've got a little pricing guide. We'll mail it to you for no charge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got a
Just
bunch
send
of
Chris your
those.
information.
Yeah, just email me. I'll put my email in the description here.
The dent man asks on the insurance end, do the adjusters ask if you're certified?
No.
I've never really asked that. Never been asked that. I deal with a lot of insurance companies directly, so there really isn't a whole lot out there that's the certification. Um, a lot of the certifications are set up for the hail end. So, there are some factors that I think that we've actually looked into some of the iCar stuff just to kind of uh, get it under your belt. So that's the stuff But no, I haven't really. I
I
don't.
never heard of
None
it.
of
I
them.
wish there was though, because maybe that will be. But dealer, they don't care. But insurance, they should really care. But most of the times, the shop knows as a body shop, they know the guy that can do work and that can't do work.
Mm-hmm.
So they tend to uh, filter those guys out for them.
I think a lot of
Um,
it is a confidence level on the. If you go into an account, it's your confidence. I
mhm.
mean, how you're approaching them. If they ask you to look at a dent, and you're like, oh, I don't. Right there, you've
Yep.
discredited yourself. You've unvalued yourself and you've discredited yourself. It's all in. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think I can get this. You
Yep.
want to go in strong, and it's always that
Yep.
first impression that's the hardest part.
Yep. Looks like Gina asks, what is your most value added service?
Quality,
Yep.
customer service.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know,
Quality and customer experience. That's
that's it.
that's that's what I stand by.
And what do you think about the gangrene tabs? I use them every day. Love them.
I
They're a
love them.
beast.
I
That's
love
it.
Love
them.
them.
That's all I use.
Buy them.
Dave, Dave, Dave Johnson from the Wiz. He keeps telling me to get the Locka tabs. I just can't get
I
away from the
have
gangrenes.
one.
The gangrenes are that's the ticket right there.
Yeah. And you have the square ones, so
Yeah, I got the new square ones at MT, and those things pull ridiculous. They're ridiculous. It's a ridiculous tab. That's a ridiculous tab.
yeah, I got to get some of those. I actually forgot to order them. You have those, Dave?
I did
The
buy
square
them,
ones?
and they're still sitting in the same package that I bought them in. Because I use the gangrene. It's like, I bought these other tabs to use them, and
I'll tell you, they work
I
really well on the edge.
That's what you were saying. Yeah, I just haven't had a dent like that to where I've needed it. So I have them. Yes, have I used them? No.
Gangrene.
Glue for sure. There you go. Perfect. Yes.
I'll tell you, that's the only thing I use.
Yeah, you turned me out to that. I was using tab weld, religious tab weld user, and the green definitely.
Green.
The green definitely works. Yeah.
That green. Oh, Joe.
Yeah.
And it's all in time. It's how long it sits on the panel, what the temperature is. There's so many variables. We saw it in the Kiko class we took at MTE. There were the whole factors: the temperature of the glue,
cleaning the panel, proper.
I mean, there's a lot of factors.
Yeah.
I got a tech tip I'll share with that cleaning the panel. Have you guys ever, you might have already tried it. Have you guys ever used like the spray window cleaner to clean off that panel?
Like the aerosol or like
they got to be the spray. I've tried like Windex. It works okay. Alcohol works okay. But if you have that spray, like that spray away or spray away, I think they call it. Glass cleaner, yes.
Glass cleaner on it, white can, blue cap.
You put that on, you spray that on before you about to pull. Oh man, yo. It's night and day. I've tried it a bunch of times. It is night and day. It is night and day. Especially when that panel just doesn't pull. You're like, man, green should be pulling a little harder.
Yeah.
Just let it sit for like 5 seconds, wipe it off. That thing pulls.
You know what else works is compound.
It does? I haven't tried it.
Yeah, I've rubbed compound on there because it really cleans it. It's super clean. It works also. So, and I got that tip from Tom Price, the glue pulling king.
Opinion on the super tabs. I have those too, and I use them on big damage. The big super tabs. I'll use them with a slide hammer. I have the K-bar, he said, and the K-bar from Keepco. I have the K-bar. It's one of those things when I need it, it's there. It's not coming out every single day. But the super tabs, I'll throw those on a panel with my slide hammer.
I don't have them. I don't have them.
You're a cold glue.
You're the cold glue. I love the cold glue. I told Benny this weekend, I said, you need to get some of this. He's like, I'm telling you, it works. It works.
I don't have it. I don't have that cold glue.
I don't have it anymore.
I need to get it.
Totally worth it.
Definitely need to get that, man. Boy.
Tab tape. I like the Cola Fria. The price point was a little high when it first came out. So I bought the tab tape, and I've never had to go back. I mean, it works. That's awesome.
That's good. Any other questions? Let's see.
I know. What do you guys wear for clothing? How about that? Because I know because walking around MTE this year, and it's a mix of both. You get t-shirt guys, you get dry fit polos. I bought 12 polos, and I still have the same 12 polos, and they were a little pricey. I think it was like $500, almost $600 for almost 12 polos for the good brand. Antigua, is nice, but I washed them. I've gotten dirty in that, and they still look just as fresh as when I got them. But Chris, I know you got a lot of different, you can kind of switch it up with your apparel. I see you got the 3/4 zips. You got the, the denim. Yeah. Ryan, you wear polos, right?
Yeah, most of either that or t-shirts. If I'm doing hail, if I know I'm going to be doing hail, a full day of hail, I'll wear a t-shirt because you're in the shop and I don't want to rub up against something with a button but most of the time polos.
Jeans
during the
I don't
winter.
wear jeans.
Cargo, like a cargo pants in the winter too, like a khaki cargo.
Okay.
Summertime is shorts, cargo
Yeah.
shorts for me.
Yeah, I definitely do the cargo or the khaki shorts. I kind of stepped away from the cargo pocket. I like it, but it's just not as professional. And
I
then
got a
these, go ahead.
Good. Finish your.
These
Good.
stretch khakis. Oh man, I love them. Now I do think we're gonna go with a darker color because if we rub against a tire,
Yeah,
we're
that's
pretty
the
much
only
done
thing
for
with the
the day.
khaki. Yeah.
But the stretch, I have to have that stretch because I'm always, kind of on my knees or
One knee
kneeling
up, one knee
down or
down. Yeah.
something. So that stretch is definitely, I don't know what they call it, but the Dickies has a nice fitted stretch version. So I kind of roll with that. And then obviously polos, which we may do button ups this year. But yeah, we do polos right now. And then hats, obviously.
I got a pair of shorts 2 years ago. I saw Mike Toledo did one on his YouTube channel about these shorts. I think they're out of Canada. You have to buy them from one distributor in the U.S. Got like a little kangaroo on it. They are the best shorts I've ever owned. They don't fade. They're like the tire shine. They don't stain the shorts. They're chemical resistant. I mean, they're so comfortable, and they've got little pockets on the side that it holds knockdowns. So next week I'll find out the exact information and bring it up, so you guys can see them. It's not really a cargo, but it is kind of a cargo. It's really an industrial short. They work
Mm-hmm.
really, really well.
And you guys do embroider, and do you actually get it embroidered or you do screen print?
Embroidered.
Yeah, that's what I have as well.
Embroidered T-shirts are
Yeah.
screen printed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, just something for the viewers if they were wondering. Yeah, because I got a batch of hats made, and I didn't realize how popular they would be, and I've been giving them out like candy. And
A lot of hats.
yeah, people are loving these hats. So
There's that
waiting to
marketing
hear.
and branding.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. It's. I mean, and actually, one of my buddies was wearing it to his a work meeting or something, and one of the females at his work and said, "Oh, what is that hat?" And she said she liked it because it had the skyline in it. She likes little one-off Chicago style, with the
Mm-hmm.
skyline and stuff. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, oh, I told her I'd get her one. I'm like, what do you want, snapback or fitted? And she's like, well, I don't really wear hats. She's like, I just like the brand. So I'll get you a hat. So yeah, definitely embroidered for sure for everything
What are you
else.
paying for the hats, Dave? Because
This
it's a
last
snapback, right?
right. But I had both. So I had both made, snapbacks and fitted. And I think it was for 25 hats or something like that. It was $200, just about $200, just under something like that. The guy's, I went to high school with him, and I didn't know he was doing embroidery until about 8 months ago or so. And
Mm-hmm.
I had found him on Instagram, and I'm like, oh wow, you do that? I'm like, hey, look, I have a business here. I'm looking to have some stuff made, and he's like, yeah, I'll give it to you for cheap. And he was super cool. And he kind of remembered me from high school, and he's giving me a really, I don't want to say a killer deal, but he's giving me, he'll give me, 5 for free or whatever. He said, hey, I threw a couple in there for you. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. So, and I've been flipping him work, anyone who needs stuff, done. There was a buddy of mine who does HVAC, and he ended up putting in a huge order with him. And, my one buddy's like, thanks for finding him for me. And the other one's like, thanks for, sending him to me. So it worked out, it works out
The
for me.
network. The
Yeah.
network.
No, it really worked out.
So we got C. Miller. How long have each of you guys been doing PDR, and
What'd you
what
do
did you
before
do
that?
before? Yeah. I'm I guess 17, 18 years in.
Wow.
Before I started pushing dents, I was actually a manager at CarMax in Laurel, which is a huge car dealership here. So that's what I did before. How about you, Mr. Davo?
I've been pushing for 6, 7 years now. And before that, I was a police dispatcher. So I was answering 911 calls and
Now that I didn't know.
yeah, sending police and fire to people who were in need of service.
For me, it was about 13 years. I'm coming up on 13 years. And before that, I was a mechanic or a mechanic in training.
Mechanic.
So that's my background.
Yeah,
So
I was always been into cars. So
yeah.
I did not want to work on cars. I cannot mechanically work on a car. I could tell you kind of what an engine does. I know that it runs and it needs oil to run, and that's about it. But I've always been into cars, you know, and if I needed something done in my car, I'm paying someone to go do it. If I wanted a bigger turbo, if I wanted an exhaust, someme's going to do it for me. I know what I want. I just don't know how to personally do it myself with my own two hands. And so I was a police dispatcher, and I wasn't happy. I was not happy with where I was. I was making great money, but it was just not giving me the enjoyment that I wanted, that I needed. So I ended up taking a pay cut. Took a pay cut, and I went to work for a body shop for about 8 months. And that's where I got introduced to PDR. They had a hail guy. They were a in-house guy. So a small little shop. They had an in-house guy, and I told him I wanted to paint cars. And he told me, "You do not want to paint cars." He said, "You will die before you're 40." And so, yeah, I got into PDR. Here I am.
So, how often do you guys drill holes? I
Rare.
can start off. I honestly don't know where my drill gun is. It's with me. It's in the truck, but I will probably spend 5 minutes looking for it. I probably have the bit for 3 years, 4 years. I don't plan on replacing it because I don't use it much.
Yeah, I don't drill a whole lot.
So,
Dave-O?
I take all the necessary steps needed to put the drill bit into the drill and put it into the panel. No, you know, if it's needed, especially there's times where glue's not cutting it, R&I is not cutting it. I could have the whole quarter panel open, but I'm still not going to get into a certain spot. And with customers' permission, you know, we need to manufacture access. And the thing that I always do, if that's going to happen, is I open that front door. I open the front door and show them that there are already factory holes from the manufacturer. So I'm not doing anything crazy, you know. When you say I'm going to drill a hole, now so I'm going to manufacture access, and it's going to look just like this. It's going to have a plug when it's done. It's going to be sealed. You're not going to have any rust or anything like that. So, you know, when needed, there are times where it's needed. You know, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that I will R&I everything, and if I can't drill it, you know, if I can't fix it without a drill, then it's not going to be fixed. Well, no, because the next guy I know is going to probably say the same thing and come behind me and drill that hole and then fix it. Now, who looks like the dump? You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's you know, when it's needed, and it's all with it. But I will take the necessary steps before I have to. I will R&I everything I have to. I will take door panels off, or, you know, interior liners out, and anything that I can do to not drill. Only because I know there's people out there running around with the drill bit in their hand, you know, with the drill in their hand, running around making their money.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to, you know, I don't want to, I'm trying not to go that route. You know what I mean? There's guys out there, zip, zip, zip. Okay. You know, make my money and run. Well, that's where quality comes in. You know, we're not trying to tear your car apart.
Yeah. Yep. Great question. Great question. So you asked, where'd you go?
I asked Steve Miller. He said that's why I went to PDR training last summer. I wanted to know where he went for training. Okay. And then Sean says CarMax in the house.
CarMax.
I think he means, was I in-house at CarMax?
No, I think he used to be CarMax too.
You must know Kenny from CarMax RPS. Don't remember. It's been a while.
I did. Did you ever do the one in Laurel?
I did.
I did it for about 4 months. That was a sweet setup.
I did it for Dent Wizard for 6 years.
So they came in at what time? Before I think they signed that deal with Dent Wizard. Do you
In
remember what year?
Um,
When did they sign that deal? In 04?
the newest deal, like their new exclusive across the country deal. I don't remember the year.
That one.
Yeah, I don't remember the year.
Okay. Looks like Chris Dillard. Do you know him?
Actually, I do. I've heard of him before. I think that's the same guy that James went to for training. I think I've definitely heard of his name before.
Did you learn a lot, C. Miller? Hopefully he's. I know there's a little lag. So how do you guys handle a busy day? I know, Dave, you just had one, so we're coming up on 8:00. So let's just, we'll make it quick. But how do you guys handle busy days?
It's funny because Dave and I just had that conversation today. We were just talking about that today.
I mean, what's a one tip, I guess? Yeah.
Time management is key.
Definitely.
It's key. I mean, today, I knew I was going to be stuck on one car all day. I knew I was going to have one car all day long. And
so what did you do? What made
this was last week? Last week I knew I was going to have one car all day. Friday I get a call, 2 calls that I needed to be there on Monday. Saturday I get a call, can you be here on Monday? And of course, me being me, yes, I will be there. Because it comes out to customer service, I don't ever want to say no. So pretty much wake up earlier. Wake up even earlier to start the day. When you know you have a busy day, wake up earlier. Don't start your regular day at your regular time that you normally would and try to shove it all into your 8-hour day. Get those, wake up those 2 hours before. Get there when the shop opens. And that's what I did. So I got there right when the shop opened. Started my day right then, knowing that I'm going to probably have to scoot out a little bit later. But I already have it all planned by what town is going to be closest. I already kind of know what cars are going to be where, what's going to kind of be involved. I knew at one of the body shops today, they said, hey, we have a couple cars for you. So I know I'm just not going to be there for one car. So now I already know that's going to be at least a minimum 1.5 to 2 hours at this one stop. It could be even more. And it's really just grinding and putting your head down, getting to places as fast as you can, unloading as fast as you can. That's why it's having your cart organized. It's good to have your cart organized, your whole setup organized to where you can get in and out and as fast as possible. Today, I didn't collect checks at 2 of the places. I said, I'll get it later. Because I know that's a 15-minute process, and I don't have 15 minutes at this point today.
Did you call ahead of time?
For what?
For any shop, did you call, hey, I'm on my way? Maybe they could.
They had called me earlier wondering where I was in the afternoon. Are you going to be here? I said, yeah, I told you I'd be there in the afternoon. So I did text the owner of one of the shops and said, hey, I'm on the way. I'll be there in 20 minutes. He said, okay, cool, thanks. And then the other guy called me when I was actually on the way there. I said, hey, I'm in gridlock traffic right now, but I should be there in about half hour. So they get antsy, they think you're not going to show. They think you're not going to show. And I don't understand why, because that has never happened with Windy City Dent Repair, where we just don't show. There's always a call or a text message or an email or a heads up if we're not going to be able to make it. But they weren't the first one on the list. So now all of a sudden they're wondering, where are you? Where are you? Well, Windy City Dent Repair also has other accounts, sir, that we have to service. And it's time management. It really comes down to time management and really understanding your route, understanding the shops that you work for, understanding your customers. These are your customers. These are your clients, these shops and accounts, understanding them working with them and letting them know that, hey, I have a hail car all day. I told you I'll be there in the afternoon. You know, just because it's 11:30, the afternoon to me still goes till about 4 o'clock. Then we're getting into the evening. You know, but if you're not there at noon, or they're going to lunch and you're still not there, so they don't think you're going to show. Well, I didn't take a lunch today. You know, I had my little granola bar in the morning and didn't eat until about right before the show. So, you know, I was pushing through the day, trying to get it all done.
And also probably knowing your weakness. You know, sometimes YouTube, I start going down a YouTube rabbit hole, watching videos, at least listen to video. And I work faster, you know, when I'm listening to music or a book. So literally I turn the phone on do not disturb and I just go to town on a book just because I know my weaknesses when people are calling or texting. I kind of want to respond as quick as possible. So I actually have alerts on my phone turned off, text message alerts, because I don't care for them. If you really need something, you call me. I do have another number, and I have operation managers that answers the phone, answers emails and text messages and stuff like that. So day-to-day stuff still gets done. It's just me and my personal line, which I handle, you know, a lot of business on. I don't go to that phone as much when I have a very busy day. So
mine's traffic patterns. You know, knowing, okay, I need to go to this shop before 2 because if I go there at 2, I'm going to lose an hour. You know, I'm big. I plan my day for the next day, the day before. So like tonight, I know where I have to be tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And then I know I work my way back home is what my game plan every day is. Start here, go the farthest point away, work my way back. Doesn't always happen. You know, I think the hardest part, I'm big with time management just because I leave the house earlier than both of you guys. I mean, I'm out of the house super early. But
what are you talking about? I'm talking to you at the same time.
You're frying eggs. I'm driving down the highway.
Yeah, you're right.
You guys are waking me up.
So, you know, it's the hardest part in that time management end is when you get to a shop for one car and they say, hey, can you look at this? Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? And you have 3 or 4 cars and you're like, I was really ready to only be here for an hour.
Yeah.
You know.
Can't say no, but
exactly.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. All right. Well, we're going to come to a close. Do you want to plug you guys? Dave, you want to start?
Windy City Dent Repair, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all at Windy City Dent Repair.
Ryan at RPS Dent Repair, RPS Dent Specialist, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. And I'm also still hiring. So if anybody's looking for a job in the Maryland area, shoot me an email at rpsdentrepair@gmail.com.
Yep. And of course, Christopher Ray, owner of Dentless Touch in Washington, D.C. area. We have YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all that good stuff. I don't post on some of it, but follow me. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and hope you guys enjoy the show. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, please, guys.
Yeah, guys.
Greatly appreciate that. We're doing this every week at 7 p.m. on Mondays. So please don't forget to give us that thumbs up and share, and get your questions ready for next week. Thanks, guys.
Take it easy.